really selling it to us.
Cackling out
I don't
loud.
think.
For varying definitions of the word's sense of humor.
Yes. Like sometimes cackling in shock.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds
I
wonderful.
like that you used this phrase, apathetic, homicidal,
Oh, it was homicidal apathy.
homicidal apathy. That was just like, it's very, just very descriptive of the book.
Yeah.
Which book is this?
It's called Scales of the Ouroboros,
Okay.
and it's this small, like
It's 10,000 words.
Yeah, yeah, little book.
Oh,
that
it's
I'm waving
tiny.
around, that was written by a mariner, and it is fascinating.
It is something else. I feel like if I gave it to any of my non-mariner friends, they would wonder if I was okay.
I was concerned, like I'm fairly early on in this career, and I was concerned about how relatable it already was.
It's bizarrely relatable.
Like-
I was talking about it with TJ, like, you know, like, I can probably pick 3 of those stories and
Yeah.
have them relate pretty closely, and the rest of them, I know they've happened out there, I think.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, the more far out ones, obviously,
Yeah.
couldn't relate to that, but
But there's a couple that are just like,
just the general feeling of it, I was like,
Yeah.
I really,
He
I
captured the-
understand this. And
he
I-
captured the feeling really well. The sort of surrealness of it.
Yeah, it does get a little surreal out here.
Yeah, the like sort of combo of like of apathy with like extreme emotions.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very strange. I don't know. The book is very descriptive, but not quite. It's not quite accurate exactly the way you're used to books being accurate. But it is
I like the sound of this book.
insightful,
Yeah, me too.
incisive, maybe,
Yeah. It sounds great.
and completely unhinged.
Yeah,
That
completely.
sounds like
unhinged.
all the good things in
Yeah.
a book. That's a great thing.
Yeah. So yeah, Scales of the Ouroboros. It's been making laps of the ship for the whole summer, basically.
Didn't Rennie bring it in?
Rennie brought it out in June.
But he hasn't read it.
He hasn't
But
read
he
it
hasn't
yet.
read it yet.
Yeah, he's kind of turning it into a bit, though, that he's not reading it. So I like, you know, he may say that he needs it from you, Chris, but I have yet to see any evidence that he plans to read it.
I
So
think he's a little
Alright.
afraid to read it.
yeah. The dedication is to all the ones the sea has claimed, and I don't think it means the like.
Yeah,
The
by
ones
end
that are
you're
dead?
Like, oh, it's
Oh,
not.
yeah.
It's not about the ones who are dead. It's about the ones who are still alive. Yeah.
That's a good dedication.
Yeah, it's a great dedication. It's thematically important for the book. So yeah, after Chris, maybe it goes to Mary.
Maybe it does. But I feel like
Absolutely.
there's probably a queue.
The Q seems to be 1, usually.
Okay, great. I will be that one. That sounds,
Yeah.
that sounds
And
good.
Rennie may step in, but I think he's just going to say that he's going to step in.
Rennie gets first dibs.
Yeah,
I
he
can-
does because we really need him to read it, but he's just not going to do it.
Maybe he has read it, but he wants to pretend he hasn't because it like...
He's like looked at it so much and heard us all talk about it so much that he thinks he's read it, I think. But yeah, highly recommend for mariners. Non-mariners, your mileage may vary.
Honestly, read it and tell us what you think.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Tell not me. Don't tell me what you think.
You can type it in
I've
the
made
chat.
my decision.
I don't think it's too late for me. I can still get out.
Yeah, you can. I'm not sure. I've been trying to get out, and I think it might be. That ship may have sailed.
I feel like this room's getting colder.
Yeah,
It's
no, I
dropped a degree
definitely
again.
felt the breeze.
It's really chilly.
Yes. I am
How's
curious
everyone's
about-
decision to wear shorts going?
I decided not to wear shorts and I'm still really cold.
Should have brought your blanket.
Samantha, are you still
I
alive?
did bring my
Oh yeah, I'm
blanket.
fine.
Oh, she's making it through
I'm
with her
making it
shorts
through.
decision.
I'm like occasionally giving my legs a little rub to keep warm, but I'm okay actually. I think it's because I'm next to all the really hot
Oh, yeah, that
stuff.
helps.
Like, it's very hot in this corner. It's like reading 80 degrees.
Are you serious?
I'm not,
Really?
like,
Oh.
instrument rack's 80 degrees.
Wow.
Can I
Oh,
come
wow.
Really
hello?
just stand in there.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah,
a
why
pretty
don't we all
solid
take it in
difference.
turns to go
Yeah.
stand
Stand in the corner.
stand over there and make it. Yeah,
I think we should get heated
we
seats.
could just come over and
Why
be
don't
like
we
heat
like
sinks.
I'm all for
pipe
that.
the
I would
AC
love it
into the
if you did.
instrument racks?
That
We
would be so
technically,
much fun.
that's what they're
So good.
theoretically doing, and there's like a bunch of fans behind the instrument racks already too, but like,
But see, all the fans are pointing out into the
See,
room.
What we could do is each of us could just go and stand in that corner and be a heat sink. Like, as we warm up, right? We would be taking heat out of the air around
ew.
Samantha and
We were joking yesterday that we could bring the toaster in here and take turns huddling around the
I think we should start a campfire in the back row.
Adam
we
asked me
got some
earlier if he could build
Just
an
as long
oven
as-
out
as long
of
as we
my
make
old
sure.
Siege.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I said no.
Just put it right under.
Yeah,
under
yeah.
you.
It's got some
Actually, you
heaters
know-
in it.
Once, now that we've left by Lulu, we could probably just like burn Santiago's sleeping bag, right? And, I don't
Aren't
think
we
he's gonna
but
use
we're
that
going
again.
back to
Back.
buy Lulu.
That's true, we
Yeah,
are.
but we're not going to be there long enough for him to need to bring a sleeping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's like he'll never get the broccoli out of it anyway.
It's smashed down in the bottom of
Yeah.
That is
It's
such
like,
a horrible
yeah, I forgot to
image.
remind him before he got in, and like once you know, your toes up against
He's
that
got
raw
his feet
broccoli,
off
it's
it,
just
yeah.
it's like the little head's going to break apart. And you never get it broccoli free. So
No.
That's
sleep
so
bags ruined.
funny.
we should just start a little campfire here under the bench.
Roast
I'm all
some
for that.
broccoli.
No,
over it.
just burn it all.
Broccoli s'mores.
Yeah, broccoli s'mores. Ooh.
You know, just the other night I was thinking about what would be the 12 to 4 shift's mascot. I was thinking
Oh.
about the blue button or the bouncing broccoli.
The
Or
blue
the
button is
fighting
a hilarious
potato bear.
mascot.
Yep.
All the
Just a
better
blue
blue
button.
button.
Touch
Do
the
not
button.
press the blue button.
Do not push.
Oh, push.
Yeah, please push. Or
That's
push me,
actually that's
push
the
me.
sticker. That's the sticker I want on my iPad.
Yeah.
Don't
push me.
push the blue button.
Just a little blue button on the
Yeah.
outside, like do not touch.
Do not press this button again.
I'd be very excited if we see the gauge again.
We probably will in recovery.
Yeah,
The-
it's gonna surge.
Just remembering the longest cruise I've ever done, there was a thing that the crew on the Thompson were just amazed. It was one of a thing called the GeoTraces program. It's like a big international program to do trace metal clean sampling of the ocean, just to try what the real natural levels are at tiny levels. And you're trying to get all this trace metal measurements in a fastidiously clean way on a ship that's made of metal that turns rusty. And so they would build all these tents, and they have all these protocols of things, and it was basically, you just had to be very careful with everything. So the second mate decided he was then going to go make a video of a karaoke version of You Can't Touch This by MC Hammer. And so he just went through everybody, got everybody involved, everyone had to sing a line. And he made the entire movie.
Fantastic.
It was like he got rolled out for a Thanksgiving Day treat
Nice.
halfway through the cruise.
What vessel was this on, Chris, again?
The Thompson?
The Thomas G. Thompson?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Is that the origin of clean and safe science then?
I don't know, but the other thing he did that was really clever was we had about a month into the cruise, and everyone had been working hard, and people were getting a bit tired, and we had like 3 safety near misses over a course of like a day and a half.
Oh, wow.
And so he just introduced having a game of murder on the ship,
Oh, we play that on the island.
and and it just got everybody so alert.
Uh-huh.
Like it was like everybody was like,
switches on. and
yeah,
like
yeah,
waiting.
and so it's like at a moment's notice, so you
Yeah.
have to be aware of your surroundings and stuff, and all the safety got re-established, so we didn't have any
Oh,
more
perfect.
What
safety issues.
The game Murder.
Oh, it's a wonderful game.
I've never heard
It's
of
a
it.
Is it like Assassin?
oh,
Kind
sorry,
of.
that's it. Is
Yeah,
that
it's
Assassin?
kinda
I mean,
like Assassin.
there's
So it's
a
the
zillion
one-
names for it. I think I know it as Assassin.
So it's basically you have a piece of paper, so everybody has to like design a weapon that they carry around with them, just like a cardboard thing, and then which can be like the smaller it is or the sneakier it is, the more you can carry it around and people don't know that you've got a weapon.
Yeah.
and then somebody is like the games master who assigns someone you have to go and assassinate. But you can only do that if it's you and the other person, and there's no witness.
Oh, there has to be no witness?
There has to be no witness. It has to be a thing where there's just like two people, and nobody sees it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then but it has to be that's the person that you're meant to be assassinating with the piece of paper you're carrying around. And then when you assassinate that person, they then hand over their piece of paper of who it is they're meant to be assassinating.
Yep.
And so you just keep going until there's only 2 assassins left, and then finally down to 1.
We play a very similar
But
version.
you're also not allowed to do it in public spaces. So
Yeah.
I got killed off because somebody they said, "Do you want a coffee?" And I was in the mess. And I had witness, it was in the mess, it was a communal space, there were like 5 people, and they made a cup of coffee, and then the others walked out, and then she suddenly said, "Oh, by the way, I put poison in your coffee." And it was like, when they made the coffee, I was completely safe, and I hadn't actually thought of that.
Uh-huh.
I was completely unsubtle. I made myself a crowbar out of cardboard. So my
Walked
weapon
around
was
with a
was
crowbar.
3 feet long. I just walked around with mine, so there was no disguising of yep, I'm still in the game.
So our version of the game involves each person putting their name, a weapon, and a location.
Uh-huh.
So you got 3 pieces of paper, and you put them all
Oh,
into
wow.
3 baskets, and then everybody draws one from each basket.
Oh, wow.
And so whoever you draw a person with a location with a murder weapon
Oh,
that
wow.
you haven't created, it's not your own.
So you then have to...
And then you have to find, so like over by the kayak tent with a coconut.
Mhm.
So you have to go be at the kayak tent with that person with the coconut. So and I had to establish rules like not in the galley,
Yep.
not in the shower block, not in the toilet block, not in people's cabins. But we play it every Halloween, and usually we play it at least once a season usually. It's a lot of fun though.
That sounds great.
It's very entertaining.
Yeah, I've never heard of that game before.
My son actually told the story that when he was at college, they played a version called Zombie on their campus, and it was something that you could be assassinated, but then you just had to lie there dead until somebody else who was part of the game came and told you could check out, and you didn't have to stay in character.
Oh, right.
But he got assassinated in the elevator of his hall of residence
Oh,
at
no.
midnight.
So-
And so there was all kinds of people would just be coming home from places and they'd been out partying and were heading back to their dorm room, and they
He's
just
just
opened the
in the
elevator and he
elevator.
was just lying dead face down on the floor of the elevator, and they would just freak out, and he just kept going. It's he was there all night
That's
apparently.
a proper commitment to the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's when he's in, he's in.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But it must have given a lot of people
Oh, I can imagine
very scary moments.
coming
right?
home at 2 in the morning and
Yeah,
there's
it's
someone
somebody
face
just
down
lying
in the
down,
elevator.
face down, dead in the elevator.
Was he allowed to tell them that he wasn't?
No, he was just
He was fully in.
it was
and no one
he
called
was
an ambulance or something.
No, they just took the stairs.
Wow, that's cold.
Just let him sit there.
That's cold.
Oh, boy. Well, different elevator. Or
Yeah.
wrong elevator.
Because that's how they roll at art school in Georgia.
Just let
just
let
another
them
dead,
lie.
just another dead body. Yeah, just-
Hope you don't actually have a real problem on the elevator in the evening.
yeah, right. It's or maybe they knew full well, but they just no, let him suffer.
Yeah, if everybody's played the game
yeah,
at some point.
Yep. It's if we just pretend we're not playing the game, we can just walk away now and make him
Yeah.
stay on the elevator floor all night.
Somebody's playing zombie again.
Yep.
Do any of you guys do anything special for Halloween?
Other than dress up,
That's special. Do you dress up?
I do.
What are you going to dress up as this year?
This year, I'm not really sure. I haven't thought about it. But it's been, my last 3 Halloweens have been on Palmyra, and they've all been kind of Palmyra themed. So last year I was a FAD, a fish aggregation device,
Oh my gosh.
and
That is a good costume.
I was an eyeball leech one year. We have eyeball leeches on Palmyra. I forgot to mention that in my
What is
presentation.
Oh, that sounds
what's an eyeball
terrifying.
leech?
It's exactly what it sounds like.
Oh no.
They
How
leech
does
on
it
your eyeball?
Get
Yep.
into your eyeball?
So they live in like booby nests, and so if you walk underneath and look up, they'll drop on you, and they aim for your eyes, or they'll crawl towards your eye.
Oh.
And I know 3 people that have had eyeball leeches. It's terrifying.
No, no thanks.
If you look up pictures of them, they're
Oh.
creepy. So I painted
I
a
will
big,
not be looking up pictures.
Okay.
It's like, I will quite happily take your word for it. The oral description is plenty.
I painted a big leech mouth on my stomach, on my torso, and then I carried around a buoy that I painted like a bloody eyeball. And that was...
How do you get them off?
Oh, that's the
Tweezers?
worst.
Oh, I
Oh
kind
my
of want to see
God.
It's
that.
not getting any better, is it?
it's terrible.
Yeah, it does
I
sound
think I'm going
terrible.
off SBL any minute now. I can't take this.
I looked at pictures.
All right.
I know.
I'm not easily, I'm not very squeamish, so.
I'm going to look up pictures after. I want to know.
Yeah, you should look it up. It's pretty fascinating.
Nature is wild.
It's exactly what he said it is.
It is, yeah. No, like, you know, leading someone astray. It's just, that's what it is. What was the one before the eyeball leech?
Well, before that, I was... I was in the galley and working that night, so I just wore like a skeleton. It was a very basic one.
Fair, standard.
Yeah,
Good effort.
easy.
Yeah.
It was like a Day of the Dead skeleton, kind of with all the cool drawings and stuff. So,
Oh, cool.
what's your costume, Rye? Or do you have a costume?
I don't know, I'm gonna be here for Halloween.
Ooh,
We'll have to do something.
I know, but that means I would have to pack something, which I have 0 extra room, so that means packing less viable clothing.
Or you can make your costume a viable piece of clothing.
Like make it out of, you just make pants out of Nautilus shirts and just go in like head to toe Nautilus shirts.
Just upside down.
yeah.
Yeah. Not even sew them.
Yeah.
Just
I can imagine Halloween being great on the ship.
I'll bet it'll be fun. I think Jamie's gonna be here.
Oh,
cool.
wow. Then it's going to be
That'll be a good one.
ridiculously
Oh,
good.
I think she's gonna be there.
It's her thing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll be defrosting all those spider web bacteria,
Oh,
the ones that took your hand.
uh,
She'll be encouraging them to grow so she can drape the entire
hanging
ship
them all
in
over
them
the
all.
van and
How
everywhere.
did they turn out when you processed them in the end?
They took
They-
his hand off.
Yeah,
He turned
this
them-
is...
Yeah,
They
this is
turned
not
into a
this is
new-
not the Chris you used to know.
Yeah, have you seen the Body Snatchers?
I have not.
Or the Revenge?
Yeah, they're in the
it's a good
fridge.
one. Yeah. Really, though, there's the 2 kinds. The one of them kind of joined together into a big glob. Like, it all kind of
That's
turned into a
even
big globby
creepier.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other one that had the more hair-like structures, that was real fibrous, and it stayed more
Huh.
separate.
Do you know what they are? Like having, no?
No idea.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. You should watch the movie live. That's,
I do want to see it.
yeah, maybe we should watch it on the ship. It's creepy though.
Was Jake Gyllenhaal in that? And was it in outer space?
It was in space, but it wasn't outer space. It was like, well, actually, where does outer space start? Chris, you probably know the technical definition of where outer space begins.
Compared to space?
Yeah, space versus outer space.
Like maybe beyond the space station.
Oh, it was on the space
I
station.
mean, satellites
Oh, okay.
are further
So I
out.
think that's probably not
Alright.
outer space.
So it was on a space station.
Yeah. And I'm really bad with faces and names, so I don't
Okay.
know who was in it.
Alright.
Actors, people,
'Cause it sounds familiar, but I haven't seen it. If it's
What's
the
the
one
name of the movie?
life.
Life.
It's a bit creepy.
Mm.
It's great though.
Wasn't someone gonna try to dig up The Descent? And
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that would be
Yeah.
a great movie to watch.
I haven't seen that one. But
Yeah,
yes, that was a
neither.
discussion.
Is there like a library of movies on board on the shared drive somewhere?
I think so. I think there is. I also have a hard drive that has a bunch of movies, and Mike Burns has a whole bunch of movies too.
My kids went and watched just recently Beetlejuice 2.
Oh, is it good?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, they didn't watch part 1.
Oh,
Oh.
So you gotta watch part 1
Yeah.
to watch part 2.
it's probably a lot of.
Yeah, I need to
references.
watch it again. I don't
Uh-huh.
remember, but you know,
Yeah, I heard it
looking
was
forward to that.
pretty good.
That happened recently. It was I think that was it. They made a TV show of The Watchmen.
Oh,
I think it was on
yeah.
on the HBO. So my wife and I had watched it, and then we were back in England and like talking to our kids and family of like, oh, here's a show that's probably going to be coming this way. And then our older son Martin watched it, and then afterwards he was like being such a like comic book snob. He was like, yeah, it was really good, but you know, I don't see how anybody could possibly have enjoyed it if they hadn't read the comics beforehand, because they couldn't have understood the backstory and like they couldn't possibly have got good value out of it. And like we were trying to like, actually we thought we enjoyed it. Like, no, you didn't. It's like you can't, you didn't enjoy it enough, because it's like it was better than you know.
Yeah.
You can't possibly understand why you don't know, why you didn't enjoy it properly. But it was, who is it on the ship that's from New Jersey? Somebody was. Oh, is that Jamie?
Jamie, yeah.
That was it. I was having that conversation. Somebody at some point had been asking me if I was interested in applying for a job at Rutgers in New Jersey. And I was saying, oh, I don't know. Like, the only thing I know about New Jersey is what I learned from watching The Sopranos. And they went, no, it's nothing like that. And I said, oh, because I was about to say, because that seemed pretty
That sounds
cool.
like a lot of fun, yeah.
But if you're going to tell me it's nothing like that, then I'm less interested.
I suppose that's better than knowing it from Jersey Shores or something.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that show, but I can imagine.
The only reason I watched The Sopranos, there were like two things when I arrived that everybody was obsessing about on American TV, and one was Mad Men and the other one was The Sopranos.
Yeah.
And they were both like so many seasons in by the time I actually knew about them. I was like, I'm never going to invest the time. And then it was that same 2-month cruise, and I was going to be chief scientist, and it's like, I'm never going to have the time to watch an entire movie, but I bet I could get like through a 45-minute show once in a
Yeah.
while without getting interrupted.
No, those are real.
So I just
handy.
went down to the ship's DVD library of like, okay, what's the biggest box set they have? And it was actually Mad Men. So I went to get it, got the box set, took the first disc back to my cabin for the go. I'd started, opened the case, it was empty. It was like, okay, how am I going to watch 6 seasons when like I missed the pilot episode? That's not going to work. So I took that, gave up, took it back, and ended up watching The Sopranos instead. Had a different colleague, Julie Huber, as a microbiologist, and so like 10 years ago, her kids are teenagers now, but when they were young, we were on a cruise and she'd got into the Mad Men. Maybe that was it. It was her being obsessing about Mad Men and telling me I should watch it. And she hadn't watched any television at all for like several years, it seemed. So then she got on the ship and found out there was this show called Mad Men that she'd heard people talking about. So she started watching it while she was at sea. And then the last night we had like an end of cruise party after we got ashore, and everyone went back and went to bed, and she ended up staying up all night to watch to watch the final box season, or like to watch the final season of the show before the taxi came to take her to the airport. And we were like, Julie, are you crazy? And she said, listen, I'm a full-time scientist and I'm a full-time mum. When do you think I'm ever going to get the chance to watch TV again? This is like, if I don't watch this now, I'm never going to get to see it. I've got to go home and like, I'm going to be back with my kids. And
Yeah, that's fair.
and
Make the most of it.
So she was just like, "Yep, this is me time. I can sleep anytime, but I'm not going to get to sit and watch TV quietly for a long, long time now."
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, her husband is
We're
Matt
just adding
Hines,
to
who's
your
the
net recoveries.
he's the head of the Jason ROV team at Woods Hole.
Okay.
So that was it. He and I used to sail together a lot on Jason cruises, and then Julie and I started collaborating together. And he's been complaining. He was like, "When can you stop getting bonded with Julie? Because like we haven't been to sea together for ages. Because like it's like it's only one of them goes to sea at a time. So
You have to get
I've been going out with other members of the Jason team. Like Tito has been out as my expedition leader and stuff like
Oh,
that.
okay.
But I haven't sailed with Matt since like 2010. I don't think.
You have to make a guest appearance on one of his cruises. I'm gonna go help with the recovery.
Okay. Okay.
So I will see you all later.
See you
Okay.
later.
Thanks, Chris.
Do you know?
Sorry.
So close. Which joint? Yeah. much.
We got about 10 minutes to the surface. Any more questions coming in?
Oh, just now.
Yeah.
Are we ascending or descending? West Coaster who fell asleep.
We
And then when is the next dive?
so we are ascending. We're about 10 minutes from the surface. We have to do a quick little bit of repair work, and then get everything prepped, and then we'll be going back in again. So hopefully within the next hour or two, maybe 2 hours from now, we might be starting up again, and then it'll be another couple of hours from there down to 3,000 meters. So maybe 4 or 5 hours from now, we should be just about ready to arrive at the seafloor and carry on with what we were doing. You can see blue water just now, but very soon we'll be changing the live feeds. We'll be showing you what's happening out on deck.
Yep.
Oh.
Yes, there, yes.
No, not yet. He's adjusting his heading a bit, and then I'm going to have him move forward. Looks like 092. Or 09. A little closer to 090. Bridge, Nav. Can we start the ship moving forward at 0.3 knots? Great, thank you. Deck control, radio check. Roger, I read you the same.
Also, really quick,
Gabby, do you have an idea how long Hurt will
you just
be
missed that.
on deck
It
for?
won't be within the next hour.
It won't be within the next hour till
No.
it goes back in. So in that case, we can probably wait with the eDNA with the waking up Annette because she will be awake anyway for the
Right.
4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's probably waking up about now anyway, and she'll look at the screen and see blue water,
Yeah.
and she'll be able to work out stuff's happening.
Maybe we can message her so she knows what is going on and just say, my phone is down in the cabin. I can't.
Okay.
And just say we had one that pumped 46,000 at. I could also go message her if that's easier.
Yeah, I don't have her herself.
I think if you open the thread, this is her, and then click on that, yeah, and then here.
She's my roommate. Do you want me to go and wake her up?
Well, I wanted to avoid.
Waking her up.
Got it. It was 40,000 something, 40 something.
We've got a shark friend.
Yeah, do you? Photon.
Thank you, Captain. Control, back deck. I have eyes on Hercules coming up in between the goalposts.
Copy, we have eyes on her between the goalposts.
Control deck, that's Hercules 10 meters from the transom.
Copy, 10 meters from transom.
Control deck, that's Hercules passing the transom.
Copy, passing transom.
Control deck, that's Hercules coming out of the water.
Roger, power